A new sidekick for Pow, an evil chameleon with past villains' powers and fart jokes. Are just some of the details from the recent trailer that dropped for Kung Fu Panda 4. Hey movie lovers, today I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the new Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer. So what's next for the Dragon Warrior after unveiling the big secret of Chinese martial arts and discovering that he had to be the one to unite his family of pandas? It's time for Pa to face his next adventure. Once again he'll have to use his legendary fighting skills in order to protect what's near and dear to him, or will he? Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming and it will mark the first feature film of the franchise to be distributed by Universal since their acquisition of DreamWorks in 2016. Yeah, that's right, they've had this property for a few years now and really haven't done anything with it, so this kind of makes me a little excited for this film. Pa has come a long way since 2008's Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3 cemented Pa as the Dragon Warrior, letting him develop his abilities as a teacher and as a protector of the Valley of Peace. The franchise was enriched by TV spin-offs that showcase adventures with the Furious Five, sometimes moving the spotlight entirely on them, but more on them later. So what did the new trailer hint at for what Kung Fu Panda 4 will be about? Well, after 3 death-defying adventures defeating world-class villains with his unmatched courage and mad martial arts skills, Pa the Dragon Warrior, voiced by the ever-amazing Jack Black, Pa is called upon by destiny to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace. Definitely not something that I would take Pa actually becoming, and I still don't believe that this would actually happen. I mean, this man focuses on food more than I focus on anything in life, but this is a huge step for the big guy. But does he have what it takes? That poses a couple of obvious problems. First, Pa knows as much about spiritual leadership as he knows about the paleo diet, which by the way I don't even understand, and second, he needs to quickly find and train a new Dragon Warrior before he can assume his new position, and of course this is also something that Pa doesn't want to do. Pa only knows how to be a Dragon Warrior and doesn't know how to lead the Valley of Peace as a spiritual leader, so this is obviously something that he's going to definitely have to work on. Even worse, there's been a recent sighting of a wicked powerful sorceress chameleon voiced by Viola Davis, and she just fits this part. So this little tiny lizard is going to be much more than what we see already in the trailer, guaranteed. But this little lizard can actually shapeshift into any creature, large or small, and she has her little beady eyes on Post Staff of Wisdom, which will give her the power to resummon all the master villains who Pa has vanquished to the spirit realm. Judging by the trailer itself, we end up seeing that she ends up with it, but how does this happen? We'll have to find out. The interesting thing about this character, though, is that this character easily can be the most powerful villain we've ever seen in Kung Fu Panda. She literally can take the powers from past villains, and if we thought any of those villains were amazing, this one has beat them all. So you might have already imagined a villain with all the powers of every single villain, and I love that they went with a chameleon or a lizard-type character, because that just seems villain to me, and her animation design already looks amazing. So Po's going to need some help, right? Well, he finds it kind of in the form of a crafty, quick-witted thief Zen, which is voiced by the amazing Aquafina, who is a fox who gets under Post fur but whose skills will prove invaluable. I mean, we know this kind of story already, right? And we have to admit this is probably going to be his next Dragon Warrior, which kind of makes me upset because there's tons of Furious Five members in their quest to protect the Valley of Peace from Chameleon's reptilian claws. This comedic odd couple duo, Pa will have to work together in the process. Pa will discover that heroes can be found in the most unexpected places. The film features the voice talent of returning stars like Dustin Hoffman as Kung Fu Master Shifu, James Hong as Po's adopted father, Mr. Ping, and Emmy Award nominee Ian McShane as Tai Lung, Shifu's former student and arch-nemesis. They are also bringing Ke Huy Quan as he joins the ensemble as a new character, Han, the leader of the Den of Thieves. And just by looking at the trailer alone, this man loves to fight. But a thing you might have missed is there are no reference or sightings of the Furious Five, Po's team of friends. Yeah, you know, those guys that help him in pretty much every other movie. Yeah, they were not in the trailer at all. This story could break away from the norm of having his friends by his side to really focus on Po's abilities alone, as the story seems to be focused on him training and finding the next Dragon Warrior. So really there's No need for the Furious 5, right? Besides that, we wanted there could be possibilities of cameos by the Furious 5 scenes, however allowing for some fans to see their favorite characters like Tigress, Crane, Monkey, Viper and Mantis. I mean literally Jackie Chan makes these movies as Monkey, and if Jackie Chan doesn't show up in this movie I might actually cry. However, since this movie seems to be centered around Poe's retiring, essentially it seems to be one last test for him to defeat himself, as we can see by Chameleon turning into him. It's kind of poetic, if you think about it, although it has also been rumored that there was always going to be 6 Kung Fu Panda movies, so only the future can tell for sure, because I'm sure we'll have another movie bring back the Furious 5. If they don't show up in this one, old villains are returning due to Chameleon bringing them back, but most likely not in the way fans might be wanting. If you look closely at the villains when they come back, a shot in the trailer shows Chameleon stealing their souls or life force and gaining control of their powers to use against Pa. She ends up shape-shifting, like blending, and like real-life chameleons do. Kind of cool, if you ask me, into the past villains and sounds and looks like them, but it doesn't mean it will actually be them, because it'll be her. This might disappoint some fans, especially for us who have been waiting for the return of Tong, but in a whole new way. However, one interesting concept they could take to include these villains as themselves could make fans happy. An idea would be to have the villains from the past realize that they need to work with Pa, as she seems to be the most powerful villain he has ever faced, so he might need a little help if the Furious 5 aren't around. This would be a way to incorporate the other villain from past movies and essentially create a Suicide Squad of Kung Fu Panda past villains, providing them all with a redemption arc, which is what fans have been wanting for Tong for so long. But what did you think of the new trailer? Do you think the Furious 5 will make an appearance? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and sharing it with a friend. Subscribe for more videos like this, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.